as Fifi the Clown. Some of my tenderest and most dear, tenderest? Anyway, I love my little critters. Um, and in particular, there was the first magic animal that I had besides doves and rabbits when I got into the big time, and that was my little tiny miniature teacup Chihuahua, and his name was Cricket. I love that little dog. He was almost 2 pounds full grown, just as tiny as could be. In fact, I had to watch him when he went outside because he was so little he could actually fit through the chain link. Not in all the places, but where it got sort of stretched a little bit, he could get his little body right through some of the openings that had been stretched a little bit in the chain link, which surrounded my yard. But in particular, he always liked to go out and go potty underneath this bush out in the front yard. And I didn't think much of it until all of a sudden he would go out under the bush, and I always had to watch him because even big birds, we had those big ravens, those big black ravens flying around, and they would think he was just a big mouse for lunch or dinner, so I had to keep a close eye. Anyway, Cricket would run out to his favorite little bush to go potty, and all of a sudden it started happening that he'd run out under that bush, and then he'd just scream and come running out of there. And, at first I thought maybe he stepped on a puncher weed or something. Didn't look too much. Checked his paws out. His paws were okay and went on. But then it was happening every single time, and I couldn't figure it out. I thought, what's going on? Are there ants under there? Are they biting him? I went out and crawled around on my hands and knees, and I'm looking under that bush trying to see if there's a big bunch of nasty ants in there and that they're biting my little baby Cricket. Couldn't find any ants. But this kept going on. Well, finally, it takes me a while because I'm not real observant. I see that his little pee-pee is bleeding. I am absolutely sure at this point that ants are biting his little private parts because he's so tiny and he's so close to the ground that, it just happens to be there, and those poor little, anyway, the ants are attacking. Well, when this went on, I just felt so bad because there was some bleeding going on. So I called the vets. Now, my veterinarian, bless her heart, she can keep a straight face for just about anything. I've learned there's a good reason why I never became a vet, and this is one of them. Well, you call up and you have to say, what the reason is. And I said, it's my little dog, my little Chihuahua Cricket, and he's being bitten by ants and there's bleeding. Well, they got us right in and went right in, and so we sat down, and the veterinarian, she looks little Cricket over, and I'm explaining the story because I'm just terrified that my poor little Cricket is getting hurt by ants. Well, she sits there with a straight face, doesn't go, which I would have done if I would have been a vet. So that's another reason why I'm not a vet. But she sat there, and I explained that, when he was going out, it was under the same bush, and there must be ants under there. I've sprayed, I've swept, I've done everything I can to try and get the ants out, but it's like they're waiting for him. So they hide, and when he comes out to piddle, they attack. Of course, she lets me go on with my story, and then she says, very serious, Gal, no, it's not ants. Sometimes with these little dogs, they're inbred to become so tiny that there are problems. We've talked about this before. That's why he has rubber jaw and his little soft spot isn't closed completely. Well, because of these inbreeding problems, his shaft is not long enough to house his little unit. And because of that, it's hanging out and getting dry. And when he goes to urinate, it cracks and the urine stings, and that is why he is screaming. Okay. How do we fix it? She then explains to me that he'll need to have surgery and that it will be taken care of. Yeah. Cricket and the biting ants and Fifi the clown that needed to be a clown and never a veterinarian.